Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Prolander Cup, hosted by RGL, sponsored by SDN Trading, and production done by the wonderful boys at KritzKast. My name is GrumpyKoi. I'm joined by Wiethoofd on production, and Vox is my co-caster. How you doing, Vox?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's an early start here in North America, but I had my eggs and bacon, so I'm ready to go.
Food. Yes, this is good. Good start to the cast already, my friend. But yeah, so we've got some Prolander going on. For those who aren't too familiar, I'm not that familiar myself, but this is a 7v7 format, kind of coined by Mr. Sigafu, who organises these events. And yeah, it's relatively simple. If you kind of want to just run us through how Prolander works, Fox.
Yeah, so you have seven classes, 7 players rather, and the point of it is that you can switch around your classes as much as you want during the game. So that way it adds an extra element of strategy to it, and you maybe take a look at what your opponent's running and then run a counter. And what you see is your main core of combo classes and then a couple of flexes after. You probably won't see a perm or spy, but obviously you'll have a medic for the majority of the game. The other thing that opens it up too is the whitelist. In official RGL matches, there's a pick ban process that goes down, but in this cup, we're going to be using just a small whitelist. It adds the ability for teams to get more creative with their weapon choices, and I wonder if we can toss it up on stream as well, or it may already be there. Wiethoofd is better than I am, but yeah. So we've got the pick bans for you guys to take a look at, or the outright bans.
Really interesting bans, like item-wise, because there's some items here that are still in that I would consider are quite crazy. Like, from a medic main's point of view, even though the Vital Sword's been changed, having that unbanned is quite crazy, as well as some of the weapons that you see that are unbanned at the moment. But we do see that the Machino is banned, and that is such a powerful sniper at the moment. The body shot potential out of that, you can drop medics left, right, and center with it. It's ridiculous. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to see that gone. Razorback, again, it stops a huge denial of spies. It makes them a bit more viable. Things like Diamondback, because who wants to get critted? So some of these picks you can see make sense, but some of them also mean that the other things that I would typically say should be banned aren't. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely makes things a lot of fun when watching the matches come down. So you'll generally have 8 bans and 4 saves come out in an official match. And Razorback, Soda Popper, Criticola, these all look like some of the more popular things to get banned. The only outright ban in all RGL matches is the Machina. The Danger Shield used to be on that, but of course the changes made, and so it definitely. It makes things so interesting to see what teams are going to run. I think part of it is, too, players get so stuck in what they're used to using that they don't think about some of the unlocks that they also have access to. So sometimes the team that can come out victorious, it's not that maybe they have better raw skill or DM potential, but they're more creative with the classes they run or the weapon choices they have.
Challenge. Okay, so alongside that we have got a set sort of group of rounds that are coming. So we've got 3 games, I believe. Is that right, Vox? I think it's 3.
Correct. Yep.
Just got a whisper from Mr. Wiethoofd on the line, just telling me I am correct. But yeah, so we've got this challenge, thing we like to call the challenge. It's the bracket system. So I don't know if we can get that up on stream, but effectively it just shows the sort of games that are going on. So we're covering Lil Team versus Lucrosa. I like rolling the R because Wiethoofd does it and it sounds cool. But I just found out that it looks like we're probably having to switch to a new Connect, so just bear with us whilst we do that. I'm excited. Video games are cool. I love TF2. I want to see some TF2. I want to see some frags. I've already spotted an absolutely amazing scout that is in the game, Mr. Crayon. We'll go over the teams in a bit, but super excited. So let's just switch over to the new server quickly.
I thought this was Street Fighter. I mean, am I in the wrong mumble? I thought. Oh, wait, never mind. But yeah, this is gonna be pretty awesome. I unfortunately am not as familiar with these players coming from the filthy hamburger eating NA scene. But I'm gonna trust your opinion on all these players. I recognize a couple of names here and there from some casts that I've done, but it's a whole new world for me. So I'm more familiar with RGL, you're more familiar with the players, and together we make a pretty good team.
My push to talk is K, so I was trying to put the connect in and I had a bit of struggle there. I do apologise, but having a letter as your push to talk is a bit strange. But yeah, some really cool little players. Someone I personally play with is also in the server. Actually, two people I know, Tomas and Austin. We'll get through the teams in a bit. I don't know who's who at the moment because we do see that they're kind of just, you know, having the garbage pre-game where they're just fragging each other, having a bit of a chill out. There's people backstabbing each other. Meds just flailing around with their uber saws. So not a huge amount going on in that. Once they start stacking up on their teams, we do have 7v7, so it could be that. I don't know. Shall we? I assume this is the case. I don't know if we have any confirmation of who's on the teams or anything like that.
I don't believe we have some full rosters, but you know, it looks like I've got most of the players aliased up. I can run through the rosters and let me know if you could stop me if there's someone that looks like they need to be mentioned. But yeah, you mentioned Tomas here. We've also got Mezzo, Sterno. I hope I'm saying these names right. Murphy, Austin, Denkra, and Chuper. Those are the players on Lil Team side. And then for Lucrosa, we've got Equal, Sinaz, Tuja, Crayon, Kronk, and Twisted. And then I also spotted Freelander, who's actually a North American player who is in here. And I think he's still around. He's a friend of mine, and he kind of could play any class, but apparently at maybe a high ping today.
No, so a couple of players sort of worth note for my personal are definitely like Tomas and Austin are people I've demixed with in the past, and they've done a lot of TF2 just in general. They're not. I'm pretty sure Tomas is in high now, but I could be wrong. But Tomas has been always a really good player. I've known him since back in the day when I used to be really active on a guy called a mix stream. So that's someone I know. Austin I've demixed with before. Crayon on Lucrosa is a veteran of the Highlanders scene and the Sixers scene. But some of these players I'm not too familiar with. So it should be good fun. Like in chat, let us know. Is there any players that you guys really want to see kind of excel? Is there anyone you want to see get fragged a lot? Just let us know. If you're supporting one team, come up with some emote to show that, and we'll get going. But I don't know the teams, but I'm going to say Crayon is going to pound and Tomas is going to pound. They're the players that I'm going to be watching because Tomas has always been a good scout and Crayon is a very experienced player. So I want to see how he does as well. Is there anyone that's familiar to you?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my American flag and bald eagle mask because everyone that lives in North America has them, and I'm gonna root for Freelander here. I want to see what he can get done. It looks like he's on Soldier right now, but may switch off, may play as a bit of a flex. But you know, it's gonna be difficult with the high ping. But I think that he can still get stuff done. The other people to look at, too, of course, are always the snipers on either side. Regardless of what happens, sniper is going to be one of the most powerful classes in TF2, especially on a payload map like Upward. You know, things are getting started here in about 60 seconds, but you're going to be watching the two snipers start battling off already in the first 3 seconds. It's kind of the first thing you look for on Upward is which sniper is going to get that first pick. So I'm going to be looking at both Denkra and Twisted throughout this game to see who can get the better of the other.
Yeah, so this is the first round of the RGL Cup. Hello, Sugafu.
Hey, I just wanted to jump in here real quick while you guys are in setup time. Thank you, Grumpy Troll and GrumpyKoi. I can't.
Grumpy Troll.
I'm tired. I'm so tired right now. This is my morning. I've been so stressed out. Here we go. Real quick before I just want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, STN.TF. It is a great website to do your trading. It has an automated trading experience by offering extremely fast trading. But you can go between TF2 and CS:GO skins in metal. It enables you to sell your whole TF2 backpack instantly for TF2 metal. They always have keys in stock, and of course, reasonable prices all day of the week. So if you guys are looking to do some trading sites, STN.TF, and I'll let you guys take it away for the first game.
And the game has just started, and we've got Crayon going in deep, just feeding information to his team. Like, the interesting thing from what I've seen by the headshot goes on to Prolander. Your American buddy is down, Vox. How do you feel about that? First frag of the game is your common patriot. How do you feel?
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You know, we get knocked down, we get back up again, and he's already respawned. Doesn't even phase him. Twisted's gonna go down as well as Lil Trooper, so no spy. But look at all the frags coming out for Lil Team right now. It doesn't look like Lucrosa has much to do on this first point. They still got their medic back in spawn. They maybe can try one more sack wave before they go out and just have to use their Uber. But good first defense by Lil Team. They only lost Trooper, and they can continue to hold this point.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the sort of payload. I haven't done many casts to do with Highlander, but this hold they've got going at the moment does look really strong as Noz jumps in. I'm sorry, my aliases don't work correctly, and he just gets instantly picked up by the pyro of Strono. So it's kind of awkward. Crayon goes in with a nice little was that Scorch Shot jump? I usually use the detonator jump, so that was interesting there. But he manages to get a pick, but he gets picked up. They're starting to push forward. Twisted gets picked up. The Uber comes out from Lucrosa. Prolander going on that buff bomb onto Mezzo. Mezzo goes down, but the counter Uber has gone in. Snows goes down. Thomas is dispensed down. They should push on this. Murphy gets Tuja. They should push. Dispenser down. They should always push Vox. That's my say.
Of course, the dispenser pick is integral. But Freelander down yet again. Gun still hasn't been picked up. Still trying to figure out their way back into this. Lucrosa spy behind picks up Twisted, which is an important pick that's going to give Denkra an ability to get a more aggressive sightline there. And Upper might come down to join his team. Cena's down as well. So, I mean, this is just coming into a really good defense from Lil Team. That Gun has been passive, but still doing work, preventing them from getting forward. And the rest of the team is still playing aggressive on the cart. Make sure they can't get too much cap time. But Ubers are going to be coming back up in just a second. But
Chopper gets a backstab onto the medic! That is so unfortunate. That's going to give the guys on Lil Team just a lot more comfortability. They don't have to worry in. Denkra takes the opportunity to take down Twisted. Their mid is really safe. Unless anyone can get behind and get onto Austin. He's nice and healthy. He's not really going to be aggressive. Lucrosa all low, licking their wounds, maybe looking to get a repush going in. They really need to get this cart moving and onto that point. They haven't even managed to capture the first place, Vox.
Yeah, this is not a strong start for them right now, and you know, the thing is, it could all turn around. They just need to have one good push, and then they can kind of ride the wave. Sometimes you pick points up multiple in a row for payload. Sterno going down is important. That means no pyro to deny, but there's no Uber just yet for the Lucrosa side. One more pick, it's a spy. It's not too important, but good spam on the gun. It's going to go down. Thomas is backing up. Uber is going to get used by Lil Team. Pushing forward, gets Kronk. Are they going to be able to find more? And it doesn't look like it, but the medic going down is still important, and Kronk has really struggled to stay alive. The point's going to go down, but at what cost?
And that was a good little push. They managed to break the lines and get, as soon as they started getting picks and started getting the damage, like Austin did really well to save players as he was backing out. Even though he died, he managed to save his pyro, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because that air blast from the pyro can actually deny a lot of pushes, especially any sort of Uber advantage a team has.
Yeah, so and
the bomb goes in from
Cena's. Sorry, good call by Sinas. He dove in to make sure that he got Austin down, and I mean that's really helping them here grab second point.
They've got a nice sort of forward hold, though Freelander is really low. He might get picked up if he's not careful. Denkra looking at, seeing if he maybe get an angle on Krunk. A lot of going on, but there's a lot of play. Like Thomas is just chilling in spawn, just getting that gun up, seeing if he can get sort of a forward hold on that gun, because the gun will help his team so much with holding a play. Mezzo and Strono just popping away at the demo, seeing if they can get anything. Trooper down to the sniper shot from Twisted. Like you mentioned earlier, Denkra gets Twisted down. Nice headshot from him. He's been a lot stronger than Twisted so far, in my opinion. Denkra's got some really nice shots and been really using some aggressive sightlines. Snoz brings it in with the Uber box. What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what can happen sometimes with payload. Freelander getting juggled back by the sentry gun, just going to soar into the great beyond. Mezzo going down as well as Murphy, so, I mean, this cart still needs to keep moving. They use the Uber maybe a little early. Watch out for the spy on the medic. Kronk right now, the scout equal coming to help him out, and luckily the threat has passed for now, but yeah, they need to keep getting this cart forward. They're not going to have Uber, I think, by the time they get the cart in a position they can actually cap, but the sentry going down. Cnoz with some good, well-placed stickies to get that one, and Freelander picks up Mezzo, gets headshot after Denkra on a 5k as he gets Twisted as well, and now it's just the collapse right here. Kronk goes down, Sterno getting a few in that, including the medic. And that's really tough if you're Lucrosa. You had such good momentum, and a little team just kind of stomp it out.
Well, Denkra just managed to put such a stick in the wheel of the bike, so to speak, just stopping any momentum with those two headshots. And as soon as the rest of his team kind of ploughed in, they were able to basically push away that push. Even with Crayon trying to use that Pyro pick, which a lot of people say Pyro is extremely overpowered in the current state of TF2. I wouldn't say so much. I'd say if your teams are organised and you use the weaknesses that the Pyro has, you can easily snuff out a Pyro, and it does look like little team are doing that at the moment. But
yes. We got Twisted getting a shot onto Cherno now, and it looks like, as you said, he's struggling a little bit. I think Denkra has the domination on him right now, so maybe he needs to play a little closer with his medic, make sure he has those buffs. Trooper's gonna get picked up, as well as Denkra, but look at that, 2 sticks. That is an Uber drop by Murphy, or onto Kronk. So that is a big play, big play.
Oh my god, that was a pan onto Tuja. Murphy going ham, even though he is using the frying pan, but Freelander just having a little battle with Strono at the point, but he's pushing it forwards. No one's really denying him. He does end up getting picked up by Denkra. So it looks like no one's going to be able to push that car up. It's going to stay down. Twisted going down to Denkra's headshots. He's doing so well. He's got Cnoz down as well. Smud's going crazy. That's another headshot.
This is the scary thing. When the enemy sniper is on, like, what are you going to do? And Crayon's on Spy. He got the backstab on him before, but one of the things is now that they know there's a Spy, you might not have the same kind of success. So maybe you swap it up a little bit, or if you're feeling it, if Crown thinks that he can really get in there, then maybe you stick with it. But yeah, Denkra rings out another one onto Twisted, and he's kind of been the star so far for a little team. I mean, of course, Murphy coming in big with that drop just a bit ago, but consistently headshots and frags going in the way of the little team sniper.
Yeah, I've got to say, I love a man who can pull off the demo pan perfectly. Like, Denkra gets another headshot onto Twisted. Twisted is getting denied so much. And in the Prolander, what I've noticed is pick classes are so useful. Like, Crayon is in a good position to get a headshot onto Denkra, but he gets spotted out and he ends up falling off the cliff. Unlucky for Crayon there, but Tuja looking like he can come around the side. He's onto Mezzo. Mezzo's super low, but
Kronk got hit with the pipe, and a roller just found his way. He didn't pop, maybe didn't notice it, or felt like he could avoid it, but with 17 HP, that's another +2 for Murphy, and That's gonna pad the score just a little bit on his side. But yeah, rough going right now for Lucrosa. I mean, 2 straight Uber drops means they're gonna really struggle to find the way, especially on a point like 3rd on upward, which is so difficult. You have that long winding roller coaster to go up, but we'll see what's gonna happen. Kronk is up on KritzKast, so that'll be an interesting play. With Austin still on Uber, if they're able to find a good position for CNOS or even Prolander with a Soldier crits, they could get a +2 of their own.
And if they can convert that, that'll be a good opportunity for them to push. Prolander looking like he's going around the side to distract anyone, but gets picked up by Stones. Austin down with the crits!
I'm a
nice
prophet.
+2 from CNOS. That's really good use of that crits. They're able to get that pick, and they should be able to get some momentum here. The gun is still up though, so that's going to be a huge deny for them. Twisted gets headshot in the air by Denkra! This man is crazy. Oh!
What are you gonna do? Like, what can you do when a sniper is playing that well? You can go spy, which Crayon has been doing, but right now on Pyro. Prolander picks up Austin again. That's actually a really big pick and might allow them to keep this point, but never mind. Trooper is up on the heavy, denying the cart. Really good job by him, and I believe Mezzo was there as well, helping deny, which is just such a good play. Switching things up. I believe Trooper was on Spy before, switches over to Heavy and makes a big play for his team when he knows that maybe a Spy isn't going to be too useful since they're missing the firepower or missing the heals from their medic.
Right, you are, and there is an advantage because luckily Kronk is doing alright with his 80% Uber into 90. So, well, sorry, crits. They're probably going to look at using that again, but he's got to be super careful of Denkra because he's just doming everyone. But they're gonna do it on CNOS. They're looking for an opportunity to do it. They have just popped it off. CNOS gets 2 players, Mezzo and Shoulders. Austin goes down to Twisted. This is a really good opportunity. Even though Murphy takes down Twisted, but CNOS ends up picking him up. But Prolander got knocked flying by the gun of Tomas. They try to reposition. But this is a good chance for Lucrosa. They're able to push this onto the 2nd point. And the final point.
Is Denkra finally going to go down? He does! The 11k is over. He definitely was feeling it. Instead of running back to spawn, kept going for those headshots. And you got to admire the confidence to go for it. Headshot ringing out. Good shot by Twisted. Doesn't get the frag, though. But Murphy's going to be on 6 HP and backing up to spawn. 12 minutes for the first 3. Spoiler alert, not a great time. So they're really going to need to get a quick cap here on last. They're still running KritzKast, which maybe after this use you switch back over to regular Uber, but Frag's coming out on the other side. Denkra down again. Mezzo and Tuja on the Lucrosa side. Uber is up, or KritzKast I should say, and they're going to pop it off. Are they finding any frags? No. Sterno doing a great job in preventing it. The great sniper body shot, but I don't think that's the frag they were looking for when they were using in those crits. But now we got almost a wipe from Lucrosa, maybe a pause coming in the future here, but I don't know. After that kind of failed crits, you still got some positioning to get towards the cart, but level 1 wrangled gun still to deal with. Demo alive, Soldier alive. It's not going to be an easy push at this point still for Lucrosa.
No. But they do have heals, and I've got to say, as a medic main, you can do a lot. Do a lot with heals. One thing that I'm a little disappointed in Kronk not thinking, but a couple of times, especially when he got that drop onto Austin, if he played it really aggressively with his team, he could have picked up the enemy medic's metagun and just switched over to Uber with a little bit of charge on there straight away. Like, I've seen many aggressive teams do that, and I think in Highlander especially, that can keep a push going. Well, sorry, Prolander, my apologies. But in payload, it can keep the flow going really nicely, because if you have that Uber straight, like, really quickly after you've just used crits, it can throw a lot of teams off, Vox.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Medigun is still sitting there, and it would be it would be a really big play, a really smart play if you were to do that, because I think Uber is the right choice right now. I know they've had success with the crits, but the shock and awe has kind of worn off with it, because you could see that last crits was very well stuffed by the pyro for Lil Team. So I know that Kronk survived, and that's why he's still on Kritzkrieg, but I think if they want to get this point, it's either... I don't think the crits is going to be the deciding factor for it.
No, crits is good for breaking holds, but not necessarily pushing into something like upward lash. Like, many of us who have played pubs know what this can be like. It could be a straight roll all the way to the last point, and then you're spending the rest of the game just focusing on the last point. And even though that can be something that's kind of boring on a competitive point of view, it's a lot of fun when you're playing pubs. But I see, like, if they work this correctly and they start picking up plays, like, one thing that has to be said is look at Dankra's position right now. He's going to go for the headshot onto Kronk. He doesn't get it. Mezzo falls down, but sadly Tuja gets picked up as we're back in after this pause. The pause didn't happen then, it actually happened later in the game, but we do see that Murphy is behind, just throwing stick above. Poor Snoz goes down to Thomas's sentry gun, and they're getting that hold up as the rest of Lucrosa are looking at a different angle to go in, Vox. But Crayon and Equal up on this higher area, maybe looking to see if they can go for a long push around the side, but they're getting denied. Murphy spamming the pipes in, Crayon just trying to deny that with his reflex. He ends up going down. They've done the crits on the pyro.
That's a good play. I don't think they were expecting crits to come out on Crayon. I mean, now they just have to contend with this gun that goes down, and I think the cart's gonna roll in, and there it is, 13:45. I said the crits might not come into play, but it looks like it really helped chase Lil Team out of the upper area, so it helps them secure the point. But almost 14 minutes, and most of that coming off of the first and third points. It's kind of rough, so they're going to need to tighten things up the next chance they get on the offensive side. But right now, they've got to be defensively focused. And with the aggression we saw out of Lil Team, how strong they seemed, and the fact that Denkra seemed to get picks at will, I'm wondering if they're going to have some struggles defending the point. But yeah, you can see a couple players just dropped out of the server, come back in, and looks like that's why the pause was called.
Oh, Cloudy. Oh, I like Cloudy. He is a cool dude. I haven't seen him play that much, but I met him at I-61, and he was an absolute legend to play with. Well, to hang out with, really. By hang out, I mean get drunk. But beside the point, PG-13, drink responsibly. Anyway, we see that this is about to start any second. Cloudy's got a good angle. Cnos takes down two players. The push is starting and the round is up. Cloudy getting a headshot onto Murphy. Oh, we may see a bit of a change here. But Cloudy looking for an opportunity to see if he can get some other headshots. He gets Thomas. That's the scout down. Nobody's pushing the cart. So a much more confident hold. Like I expected it to be a lot less confident than this. It's a different. There's a few new players in this Vox.
Yeah, it looks like when the players drop out, they call the pause to get their other players. Justice comes in on Soldier, and as you mentioned, Cloudy on Sniper. It took a little bit for the HUD to update on your guys' side, so that's maybe a little bit of confusion. But either way, headshot coming in for Cloudy, already on a 3K, and I think already being a boon for his team. But Mezzo's going to jump in and take him out. The rest of the players, though, for a Little Team dropping like flies, but Kronk has his Uber forced out, and that's going to put a huge advantage in Austin's favor. And I wonder if that might allow them to take the point. Actually, smart call by Lucrosa. Just going to back up, let him have the point. I don't think they were going to get anything left out of a defense besides maybe just a swift death. So they're going to try to get a good hold on second and just give up first.
Right you are, and what's really nice about their decision here is they're actually going to be able to have some sort of hold, but it does not matter because the aggression has come out of Lil Team and they're just eating Lucrosa alive. They've separated so many players. Austin is in a bad situation now, but the pipes from Murphy are coming out. Equal behind Murphy though, may be able to clear him up, which he does, but only Cloudy and Equal left for Lucrosa, so that's actually quite unfortunate, but they do have the teleporter, so you never know what they might do. Austin, really awkward situation for him. No, not a lot of players with him. Chopper going around the back as Spy, looking for opportunity. And we see that the teams are repositioning themselves. Mezzo goes down to Justice, and I think we're going to kind of see things stale off for a second as Chopper gets spotted out, and the slow push is coming out of Lil Team, Fox.
Yeah, and Kronk dies to fight Murphy. Just grabs him, so yeah, Kronk is really struggling to stay alive, and I think that's part of the problem why they had struggles on offense. You know, you saw those 2 drops, one pushing third, and now their second hold might fall apart here as well, as Justice, Sinas, Tuja all down. Crayon's gonna get picked up as well. Cloudy, the only surviving member, Equal is also floating around,
creating
but
a huge distraction. Oh,
1 HP in a dream.
Amazing movement from Equal there. He was distracting like 3 to 5 players then, and none of them could hit him. That was really well from him. Cloudy looking like he wants to get an aggressive angle onto Denkra. Obviously, well aware that Denkra is quite a scary sniper in this game, so he wants to see if he can get an angle, maybe even get a drop on the Austin, but Austin Ubers in. Tomas leading the charge. Crayon's sentry isn't even up. Oh no, this is not good for Lucrosa as they are separated, but Strono behind ends up getting picked up. There's an entrance. Okay, no, never mind. That's not where I thought it was. Just ignore me about the end. Oh, Mezzo gets picked up. Sentry gun down for Chopper. Chopper gets down as well. Chupa, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of the bike. We just have like a motorbike in the game. It's fine. Just ignore me. I will say your name wrong.
Yeah, so, I mean, that Uber didn't look pretty well advised, because, yeah, you might go in and you might get a few picks, and I think they maybe grabbed one with it, but the card is nowhere in a position where, even if that Uber was successful, Lucrosa has time to respawn and get something done, usually, before that card's going to be getting close to capped. Cloudy's going to ring out a second headshot onto Denkro, so Lucrosa's new sniper doing a good job mitigating the work that Denkro did in the last half. So that cart is going to begin to move forward, and hopefully the next time they use Uber, it'll be in a better position.
My only thought process with that Uber was they were looking to get more of a forward aggressive hold, and if they were able to get the picks, then they could maybe just send a scout back, and they could set up around the corner and make it really difficult for Lucrosa to come out. But the Ubers have been exchanged. Murphy's in an awkward situation. He gets picked up by Seam. Mezzo down, Chupa down. Kronk stabbing him with the Uber sword. That's a nice little advantage for them because they'll be able to take it up. I think that was actually no, that can't be a dead ringer. It was dead ringer's bang. Never mind. But yeah, it's looking a bit better. They're getting a lot more of a forward hold on the Lucrosa, but Sinos has to be careful because Tomas nearly got in a position where he could take him down. Like Demo versus Scout is not a fun matchup to really play against. That movement is just hard to deal with. But so far, Lucrosa looking like they're getting a lot more confident with their hold. Fox, like, what's the mentality? Because I'm so inexperienced with competitive upward. Like, what's your mentality when you're trying to hold this point?
Yeah, I mean, the point, in a sense, kind of holds itself, as Denkra is going to get 2 Equal and Cloudy going down. But it holds itself in the sense that it's such a long way up, and those ramps, if the cart stops even for a moment, it's going to fall back down. But as I say, that Uber being used and Lucrosa not in a position to defend it, so they're just going to back up. They didn't have an Uber, so Kronk wants to survive, and he does in upper. But, you know, as soon as we start giving them props for their hold, of course it falls apart, because why wouldn't it? But up in tiles, Kronk is going to have his heavy and Scout joining him, so we'll see how Lil Team is going to want to push this. They might get aggressive right off the bat. It looks like Sherno wanted to do that, but gets a headshot by Cloudy in the process. but no Uber being used. Maybe you have time, if you keep your medic alive, to just go up and see if you can either drop or get a force off of Kronk. And then you can use your Uber advantage to push this point, but they're just taking the cart for free. No spam going down until now.
Right you are, as the Tenkra getting another 2k, but Lucrosa kind of in this high ground, but they're not. It's Tuja and Kronk just are actually in a really awkward situation. They do manage to get the Uber out, and they start bringing the aggression, but they were surrounded by blue players at one point during that. Murphy kind of unsure if any players are in front of him, and he starts sticking off an area with no players and gets picked up by Cloudy. So kind of unfortunate for him, really. But they've pushed the cart so far now. They've got so much space to be able to work. They've got so much time as well, 6 minutes. That's how long that Lucrosa have to defend this to get a win.
Yeah, and they're not going to have Uber to do it with either 100%, and Tiles is going to be completely free for a little team, no Uber to use, so now they can try to see if they can get close to the spawn and use the Uber to choke them out as maybe the scout caps, but Denker is going to grab equal, good headshot ringing out there. Trooper's going to get the dispenser. Uber does get used. Jumping in over the top is Mezzo, see what he can get done, and I think this cart is going to get capped. Kronk gets backstabbed by Trooper, and yeah, there it is, the first round going in the favor of Lil Team. Their offense wasn't as fast as I was expecting, and I guess that's good for Lucrosa. You tighten some things up on your offense. Your defense did look pretty good, and maybe they can come out and bring this to a 1-1 before the next half starts. But they want to go right in, and I think we're going live in our second half. No time to digest what just happened or anything.
Okay, I'm confused, Vox. You're gonna have to help me, because as many people have already noticed, I am very inexperienced with Highlander. So they were quicker. So doesn't that mean they win, or what's?
We got a best of 3 going on. So
okay.
that first round, or first half, even though it can go up to 3 halves, which makes no logical sense, but that's the first half. So Lil Team are gonna put themselves up 1-0 on the map. If Lucrosa can have a better half here in terms of both the attacking and defensive side, they can force an overtime round. But otherwise, if Lil Team do the same thing they just did, we'll have a 2-0 victory for them on this map.
I actually understand it now. So, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Like I didn't quite understand, because I predominantly play 5CP. That's what I spend most of my time playing when it comes to competitive TF2. So I'm not that experienced with payload, which I do apologise for. This is all new to me, but that makes a lot of sense. So is it you take it in turns to set the time? So now it's Lil Team's turn to set the base time. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And I bet you I'm not the only one who's watching this right now that's asking these questions. Because
it's always good when it comes up. Yeah, we teach the audience new things.
Yeah, exactly. Like it is bad that I only play 5CP. I should enjoy all parts of TF2. Like I think that should always be a thing. Look at people like Crayon, for example, Thomas and Austin. I know that they play both. They play Highlander, well, all 3, Highlander, Prolander, and Sixes, because they should all be played. As we do see, Tuba can take it down equal. Players kind of not dropping, but aggression coming from the Lil Team as Denko gets picked up by Cloudy's body shot. That's a good pick. That means that they're not going to be able to get any sort of long range picks down, but Thomas and Strono are pushing this forward. The reflex coming out of Strono looking like that's going to create a lot of opportunities for his team. Oh, that would be hilarious if we got a pick with, but Thomas picks out Cloudy.
That was a really funny shot. He jumped up on the rock and just kept double jumping and putting a bit of damage on the scattergun each time. But Ubers get used towards the gun in the cart. Looks like the gun has gone down, but Lucrosa want to get forward to make sure that this cart is theirs and no one else can touch it. Mezzo, nice rocket onto equal to take him down, but The cart is still going to be held. Ubers get traded out. Crayon does not have a sentry gun going. He does now, but with CNOS going down, I think this is time to just back out, and looks like that's going to be the case, but not before Lil Team nearly wipe Lucrosa. It's just going to be Crayon and Kronk escaping. Kronk has to go all the way back to spawn, and I don't think they're going to be able to hold second at all. The aggression from Lil Team is there, and if Murphy can find the sticks, and it looks like he will, this gun should go down.
Yeah, it's looking like Lil Team have kind of figured out Lucrosa, and it's really uncomfortable for Lucrosa at the moment because Lil Team are just getting that forward hold position, letting the sniper and the scout push that cart all the way to the second point. This is quicker than the last round so far.
It seems so.
Like there wasn't. I feel like Lucrosa should have done what they did in the previous one, which is set up further back again. Just know that they weren't able to hold it, but sadly they all got picked off. Denko picking up Equal, Cloudy with the return, picking up Denko. It's a lot of snipers on upward. It seems to be the snipers really want to, you know, get the picks. They're really sort of helping stop any sort of pushes. But the moment that they're not able to do that, teams start losing players. As Stronos starts moving in onto CNOS, but CNOS manages to pick him up with the help of his team. Cloudy getting Mezzo, but getting picked up by Denkra again. Both snipers getting really nice trades. And Chupa on the spy, looking to come behind. Austin bringing the Murphy in with a nice little Uber. The Uber has been exchanged with Kronk. Kronk, Uber, Chupa, not realising that he's not on his team. Just is knocking players back, and it's going to a bit of a stalemate situation. Vox, that was a nice push from Lil Team there, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but it felt like it was good.
It was, I mean, the fact that the cart is still moving, they got aggressive, they had the Uber. Kronk, no, not like this. Chuper comes in, gets the backstab, but I mean, it just seemed like Kronk kind of milked the Uber a little bit too long. As soon as he saw the Uber, he kind of tried to hold it and allowed CNOS to get headshot before anything happened. And now Lil Team is just cruised to the first 3 points, 319. If I remember correctly, that's faster than Lucrosa's first offense in the first 2 points. Whatever, not that important, but either way, Lil Team still have control of tiles, and usually if you have that as the offensive side, it's so much easier to spam in, choke them off at their spawn. Lucrosa have all their numbers, which is good, but it looks like they've got a gunslinger going on. So no level 3, but so far holding it.
Cloudy's doing a really nice work at the moment and making a lot of Lil Team then really cautious about pushing, but they've managed to get the Uber in, and that's really helped them sort of push every player, it feels, back from Lucrosa into their spawn. With only a few players out, Equal going down, Tuja going down, Justice out, the repush is coming out of poor little Lucrosa, but Crayon goes down. It's kind of looking like it is pushing more and more into the side.
Cloudy.
Oh, nice shot from Cloudy.
Cloudy's doing such good work, and the Uber gets used on him, but he can't find the shot onto Chuper. Just such a smart play. I mean, so Cloudy's popping off, gets a headshot on the medic, gets a body shot on the scout, and then one on the pyro, who is capping the cart as well. But then Chuper just hiding, crouching behind the cart, and every time Cloudy tried to get a position, would just rotate, little ring around the rosy, and because there's no one that can jump on it, yeah, Lil Team are gonna get the cap in 4:44, and that is definitely faster than anything Lucrosa have shown they can do. So if they don't come out of this guns blazing, I don't know what's gonna end up happening. They need to break this first hold on their first push, and I don't think they have time for sack waves even to jump in and try to force the medic. I think you need to go right into this, or else
all out
might not find a way.
what they need.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is they need to just spot out where the gun is, get that down, because that's going to slow them down the most. If they can get an early kill onto Austin, or just remove certain players that can slow him down, some Murphy, Strono, or the gun, they should be able to really push this through nice and aggressively. But they also have to not let Denko get away with some of the picks he's been able to get away with during this game. And Murphy takes down CNOS straight away, first frag of the round.
Yeah, Trooper's got a position on the on that house there. I thought he was gonna just call for his team, but he went for a pick onto Cloudy, and I don't know. I think maybe your calls are more valuable than a pick on the enemy sniper, because if Denkra knows where he is, it's almost like having wall hacks. Not saying that he does. Don't worry, I'm not saying that. But Denkra's gonna get 2 headshots, including one onto Cloudy. Lucrosa's numbers are just completely down, and there he goes, body shot onto Sinaz, and yeah, they just have not found a way to deal with him. I thought when Cloudy joined in, and Cloudy has held his own. I'm not saying that he's doing poorly by any stretch, but Denkra just seems to be on one today, so he's having a much better game. But still,
like you can't like knock Cloudy for coming in and making a really big change, even though it just gets picked up by Trooper. But Crayon returning the favour as well, and both snipers are down, so it is opportunities for the boys in blue to get the push on. But the Uber really early out of Austin, so not really able to use that in any way.
Good job by Justice coming in with the bomb and trying to help Asterno with some reflex, but still Austin felt pressure to use, and 100% the Uber. If they can't get it with this Uber here, and it looks like a good start with Equal taking on the Pyro, chasing forward onto the medic. Is he going to be able to find the pick? Sinaz does. So that's a big one. There goes Austin. The gun's going to go down, and they cannot stop. 2 minutes 50 seconds. Don't quote me on this. I believe it's still mathematically possible, but they need 3 times going on the entire time.
Yeah, they really. I saw that Lil Team just went straight from the under area and just pushed straight round and didn't let any hold come out of Lucrosa. But then they're giving too much space to Lil Team, and it means that they're able to get a hold up on this corner. Mezzo looking like he's going to maybe even be able to get some damage onto Kronk if Kronk's not careful, but he does get picked off by Tuja, so that was really lucky for his position in there. Tomas's sentry is getting spammed, and it does end up going down. The hold from Lil Team is not that strong, and they are pushed out and the round is converted, so they are looking like they may be able to equal this out, Vox, if they keep this pressure up.
Yeah, and you know, still a good push by Lucrosa. I still think there's room for improvement there. As you mentioned, they weren't completely aggressive right after getting the medic pick, and if they could have stopped the sentry from going up at all, they would have had a slightly better time, maybe even 2 minutes right now. But either way, minute and a half, only times 2 on the cart. I really think you need that times 3. Maybe switch the spy off for a pyro. But Uber getting used, Austin gets forced off, and he's got to use the Uber with just Sterno. He's going to get Tuja, the heavy, as well as Crayon going down. But still, only times 2 on the cart, and now Lil Team can walk forward and put some aggression down, forcing off the Uber. It's Kronk, but he lets his soldier die in the process. Equal falls off the map. I didn't see him get forced by anything.
No, he just fell. He just fell.
No.
He just literally tried to jump up and fell as Mezzo gets picked up by Cloudy. But it's not looking good for Lucrosa. They've lost all the momentum, and there's only 50 seconds on the point, so it looks like unless they can, I don't think they can do it actually, unless they have like times a million on the cart, they're not going to be able to really do this. And Chupa got Kronk, so not looking great, Vox. Not looking great.
I think this is just time for Denkra to continue padding those stats, make it so that he has 900 headshots on the game, and he's doing a good job so far. Gets a frag onto Sinaz, trying to deny the card as well. And with 15 seconds going in, it looks like Lil Team are going to take this map 2-0. And a really strong performance by them. I obviously haven't seen the other teams or anything like that, but with the fact that Cloudy was doing so well, and Sinaz had a really strong game too, Lil Team having a strong game means that they might be one of the better teams in this cup going down right now.
Yeah, which surprises me because I thought, like, especially with Crayon and Cloudy on Lucrosa, kind of more well-known names in Highlander, at least to myself. I'm a little surprised that they weren't able to get a bit more aggression, but congratulations to the boys in Lille team. They've done really well, and they've managed to secure their first win of the 3-round series we've got going on here.
Yeah, and it was just a really, really great match to watch from their perspective. They had aggression where it was needed. I don't think they had too many mistakes. I think maybe the only one I could nitpick on was one of their pushes coming up from third when, maybe using a little bit too early when he didn't have the numbers or the cart position to back it up. But I think those are the kinds of things that you can do when you are so dominant. Just go for the play and maybe it'll work out, because Lucrosa was obviously on the ropes for most of this game and hoping to make them scared and all their aggression. But this does bode well for them if as they continue on. I believe later on in the third set of matches, there's going to be some bad water. So if they're good at payload, maybe they're going to have another good game there against whoever they'll end up playing.
And Badwater is an amazing map. I've had so much fun on that map, so that'll be a really good watch. From here, I'm not sure what the plan is. Are we going to have a little goosey gander over at the logs? Let me see if I can get them up.
All right, I got some Logarinos. Let's take a look at, I guess if we got enough time, take a quick look at the first half, because I want to see Denkra's performance. And yeah, he put out 28 frags, which as a sniper, it's kind of maybe not expected to always top frag, but on a map like Upward with these sight lines, it's definitely possible. And Denkra really seemed to be having a strong game. 28 frags, 367 DPM, as well as 30 headshots. So he really had a strong one. Murphy as well, 24 frags with 430 DPM, and it just seemed like a map owned by Denkra and Murphy, just like a tag team duo for a little team.
30 headshots. That's ridiculous. That's actually really, really good. But
I need to point something else out.
Player. Oh yeah, go ahead. Actually, you know way more about this than I do.
Okay. So Cloudy joined in for the second half of the second game, but Denkra finished with 13 sniper picks and Twisted when he's on 0. And it just goes to show part of the reason why Denkra had such a good game, build that confidence up, is Twisted was really struggling to get the SVS going. It kind of just fell on Crown to get picks, and he only grabbed 3 on the enemy sniper. So I think that definitely goes to show why Denkra had such a dominating performance, especially in that first half.
Yeah, it was interesting to watch. It's all weird and all new to me, Vox, and it was an experience. It was a fun experience. I can imagine myself watching a few more games of this, trying to get more of a feel for it. This is my first ever sort of Prolander cast, and it's different. It's not a bad different. It's just different, and I think there was a lot of fun and there was a lot of really cool moments. Both snipers were putting in so much work, especially during that second round. And yeah, it was nice to see Denkra being denied a bit more, because the first game he was just eating up Lucrosa alive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They had nothing that they could really do against him because poor Twisted was struggling. Denkra was able to get really nice sight lines, but I think you mentioned it, but Murphy also put in a lot of work for his team, getting so many drops onto poor Kronk, using that really nice sort of spam potential out of the demo, getting all of these lines of just pure spam, and Kronk just completely, I don't know if he was unaware or he was uncomfortable. I don't know sort of how long these teams have been together, but it seems like he just kept walking into pipes where he shouldn't have, bless him.
Yeah, that's I remember watching that one roller and like my eyes were closing and like I was cringing. I was like, no, run away, pop your Uber, do something. But Wested, it still ends up with the +2. But Anything else that you're kind of can glean from these logs, or?
No. But one thing I do think I'm going to do is I'm going to go on to STN trading and sort myself out some Highlander setups and actually play some Highlander and Prolander, because all I've been playing is 6s, and I feel like I need to let myself experience all these other game modes, because I feel a little underknowledged, but definitely not underwhelmed. Like, that was a lot of fun to watch. Like, a lot of fun to be a part of. And we are joined by Sigafu. How you doing, Sig?
I'm doing great. Great cast. I'm sorry I didn't get to catch a lot of it. We have a crazy turnout this time. We had 62 teams registered. We have currently 9 admins working through all of this along with you guys. Not to be without its hiccups, but it sounds like it was a pretty good game, albeit a 2-0 to start off here. The one thing I'd like to say, for any of these teams watching, for anybody who's currently in their downtime, remember, you have kind of 2 different strategies you can come to Prolander. One is you just play your own strategy and you do your own thing, and that's kind of traditionally how Prolander's been played. Initially, but a lot of teams have been having success by choosing counter picks, so choosing classes to counter the other team, which forces them to have to change off the classes they want to play, and that kind of keeps the game going like that. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe there was some sort of off-classing that could have happened in this game to potentially switch it up a little bit more. But either way, we are going to take it into a break here shortly. Want to give another shout out to STN.TF, our lovely sponsors. We'll talk about them more, but if you guys are looking to do trading, STN.TF, that's the place to go. But another place you can go is a brand new place. It starts with EU and it ends with RGL.G. That's right. Recharge Gaming League is coming to the EU. A $1,000 prize pool is going up for grabs, a completely free league to play. It's starting up in about a month after the regular season of TF2 Highlander, so you don't have to worry about double stacking. You're going to be able to play both leagues just fine. So if you guys are interested in trying Prolander, you saw this tonight, it's looking interesting, you want to try it in a league format, you want to win some money doing it, if you're at the top of the game, you can absolutely do that. Check out eu.rgl.gg, and I think we'll take it to a break here. Our next map is going to be on Koth Product. It's going to be a best of 7. We'll get the teams sorted out from our next map, and we'll have one of these guys stick around, maybe both, and we'll get that next cast coming up. So definitely stay tuned. Koth Product, always fun to watch. Very intense action happening on Prolander when it comes to Koth maps. I'm tired. Did I mention I'm tired? Anyways, I'm looking forward to you guys, and I'm looking forward to that game. So stay tuned. We're going to go into a short break here, and we'll be back with some product action not too long from now.